Ranbir Kapoor interview shot one take.
Funny, loving, united. I would use these words to describe my family. जिसे खाने का बहुत शौक है, जिसे हंसने का भी बहुत शौक है. Are you recording this?
Welcome to India Today, both of you, Smriti and Armaan. I have to say, I really watched it and I thought I will start with a complaint because I thought that this was too short. This should have been a series because I would have loved for it to unravel a lot more in chapters because there's so much to the family. Smriti, that's why I'm going to come to you first because I know that's so much to put together in such a short span. Was a difficult and challenging one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest challenge, especially with this type of a story when there's a family with so much legacy and history and, there's any sort of lane you go down, there's an interesting story or there's interesting anecdote, something that you want to include. So it was really challenging. But I will say that the best compliment, for any filmmaker is when somebody says, I wish it was longer, so I'll take that complaint as a compliment. There could always be more. Anna and I decided very early on that we wanted this project to be about this particular family tradition, right? They're a tradition of gathering for a big meal, and really use that as the way to talk about, all of the history and legacy of the Kapoor family and, particularly around food. So it wasn't like a traditional biographical, full, biographical docuseries the way Romantics was, or, other things like that have been. It really was just about this tradition and then what we can learn about the family through the lens of this one tradition. So, hopefully maybe there'll be more in the future. That's up to Armaan and the family if they want to do more, deep dive. But I think for us, it was really about this particular aspect of the Kapoor family that we really, that Armaan felt so connected to, that I really loved and felt like made a great framework, for the story.
Absolutely. Armaan, your love for the family, your love for your grandfather, your love for the legacy, we could see that, through the film. But I want to know, how did that idea even churn out? Like, when did you decide that, okay, let me do something about this? Because I know your love for culinary is, of course, there. But then at what point did you think that, okay, this could actually develop into something more?
So, yeah, I mean, like you said, I didn't meet my grandfather Raj Kapoor growing up, and whatever little I do know of him is because of my mom Reema, who spent a lot of time with him. So where this all began, I'm growing up in this family. I think all of us by default are massive foodies. We've seen that, growing up at get-togethers, parties, and where, clearly the film is food, food, food. For me, I did take it professionally also, so I do have, a food business.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mom very candidly one day, and we were discussing genuinely what do we do for Raj Kapoor's 100th birthday, and I was doing obviously my food business, Jungli Kitchen, and
Okay.
and I thought of, okay, why not merge my two passions, film, food, Raj Kapoor's 100th birthday, and something that I've seen through my lens growing up. I've seen this family, and that's something I've grown up with. I've grown up more than cinema. I've grown up with like just food and get-togethers and family, and I've seen so much of that. And I'm like, okay, this family is such an honest family. Getting them together, over a dining table, filled with nostalgia, memories, good times, bad times, would just be the perfect celebration of a man that you've obviously known as a very serious filmmaker, producer, actor, editor, etc. But celebrating the man who himself behind closed doors was a family man, a man who really
Loved his
certain
food, loved everything.
festivals, traditions, culture, values that have transcended down these generations, right? I mean, like the rest of the family and all of us are trying to take the film legacy ahead. I'm taking the food legacy ahead. These things were all instilled like generations ago.
Yeah.
So it just made so much sense to
Yeah.
bring this all together, and it slowly took its pace. That's when I obviously met the great team at Netflix who trusted me as first time producer, first time showrunner, and I played a part as well and wore many hats in this. And then obviously met the captain of our ship. I could think of no one but Smriti, so we
Yeah.
were really
He's
supportive.
a pro now in this.
This is her space.
Yeah.
I could think of no one but her, and I think we were supported with the right teams, and everyone's really brought this vision to life. So
Yeah. I think Chembur is so proud that it has been mentioned so many times in this.
Apna adda hai, it's good, of
Because
course.
I am from
Very
Chembur, so
good.
I was like, oh, finally.
High five. Love it. Anyone says they're from Chembur, I'm so happy. I mean, honestly, I've not grown up there, but it's
Yeah.
my maternal grandma's home. But I just feel like I live there. Such
Yeah,
good memories.
because for us also, I mean, growing up, RK Studios was always a landmark. Like, whenever people would be like, oh, we have this, we have that, and I'd be like, have you heard of RK Studio in Chembur? Do you know the legacy? So please, like, don't talk to me about anything else.
No,
We have grown up
before Google
flexing
Maps and
that.
all of that, RK Studio was always, RK से left मारना, right मारना, RK Studio, RK.
Exactly, वो
It's like a
flex होता
landmark.
है हमारे लिए. We would flex about that. So I was very happy. Every time Chembur word came, I was like, yay, my place. But again, I mean, Smriti, because this is also shot in a style where everything is very organic, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of direction that you had to give. It seemed like everything was happening seamlessly. But tell me, were there points where you had to actually tell, because this was not a gathering with just people who are always in front of camera because they know how to act in front of camera. But of course, there were also members who have really steered away from media for the longest time. What was your direction to them, and what was that experience like?
This project was one, particularly because there's so many members of the family that are, very aware of cameras, and we wanted to go the complete opposite direction. I didn't want them to feel like they're being directed. And I didn't actually, this was a very less is more approach, where I honestly was more directing the cameras than I was the people. Really, the idea was to let the family just do what they do. Like once they're together, I knew that, the conversations were going to happen, the moments were going to happen, all of those things. And so we just let everything flow naturally. We didn't interfere, me and my team at all with telling people, say this, don't say that, none of that. I really just directed the cameras to say, make sure, you're getting this moment and that moment, go over here, go over there. So that was it. It was really less is more approach, which is what I think makes it feel so much more organic.
Yeah, because it really felt like
than something that's
it really felt like I'm a fly on the wall, and this is something that is happening in front of me, like in a place, and it didn't feel like someone is actually shooting and like it's been directed at any.
Right.
So that's also a compliment, because I feel like it's such a beautiful way of this entire documentary to come together. But Armaan, also tell me, I mean, because I remember you saying in the film itself that the biggest challenge was getting everyone's time, getting all of them together in one place, because I know everyone has a busy schedule, right? Tell me, how did you manage this? Because it's really kudos to you. I know it is very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, see, again, going back to the time where we were, when my vision was very clear with what we wanted to make, right? So I obviously took it to the family and went to everyone, and I mean, these are the same family values, traditions that they've grown up with. So they were really aligned from day one. Yes, I do mention this in the film, and it's something that is always such a big thing, because at our Christmas get-togethers or like at Kunal uncle's home or Diwali, etc., there's always 2 or 3 people missing, and it's no one's fault, right? Because you're busy shoot schedules, you're traveling. Similarly in this one, I mean, it was obviously managing dates and trying to schedule this whole thing. You always try to find the right permutations and combinations. So it was a challenge, but we managed to obviously
yeah, you could manage almost everyone except for I think Alia was missing, but apart from that, I think everyone was there.
We had, so I think there was, so Alia was also busy with a bunch of shoots lined up that were committed prior. Agastya, my other cousin.
Oh yes, Agastya, but you all managed in the after video that was shot.
Yeah, and then Nikhil also in Delhi. So we had a bunch of family members, again, work commitments, and again, I might sound filmy, but Raj Kapoor always said, work is worship, and this family is always like work, work, work. So of course, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but also, I mean, kudos to you for the way it ends as well. I think it was a surprise, not just for the family, but also for the viewers when you recreated the entire Deonar Cottage. The way it was, I mean, it really gave us all a glimpse of what that house was. Because देखो, मैं Chembur से हूँ तो मैंने बाहर से तो देखा हुआ है वो घर. But I felt like, it was like a glimpse inside a chapter in Kapoor legacy, and I felt that was amazing. Where did that idea stem from?
Thank you. I think that's something that I mean. I told Smriti day one that's something that's non-negotiable because it's been such a big part of our growing up. I mean, food is one aspect, but all our memories, all our times have been spent. I mean, I'm still much younger than the previous generations who have lived their life. They were born there. There was it's a house full of memories and love and I mean, growing up and spending those weekends and sleepovers there and breaking windows and playing cricket and almost getting thrown out of that house also sometimes. So there's a lot of fun and food and banter and the thing is it's been such a big part of everyone's lives. To not have that in this would just be incomplete, and everyone has such a strong connect to this space. So it was always part of the plan to kind of I would do that because I have such a strong connection personally, right? So it's very authentic in terms of what I feel about that space and what everyone feels about the space. So it was just something that came very naturally to recreate and take people back into time.
Absolutely. I don't have a lot of time because obviously there's a timer, but I want to know from you all the question which I started with. I'm going to end with that. That do you think we will take this forward in different chapters, perhaps? But because I would love to see this legacy continue even in series, even as films, different chapters maybe. Do you think that is something that you're looking at?
When we started this, there was no endeavor actually to think of a series or a larger format or would this be a second and a third. It was always supposed to be a special, a one-time watch, which we really hope. And I just want to say this that it's not a series. A lot of people don't know what this is. It's a
Yeah.
60-minute, really happy, emotional,
Yeah.
fun watch. So yes, of course, please watch it. And we haven't thought of it so far. But if there is a possibility to work with this family and work with this team, I would love to just recreate this whole. She's thinking about it with like multiple projects lined up right now. So I think we'll give this a thought after a couple of months and see where we're at.
Please do give it a thought. I think it will be amazing to watch more of the Kapoor legacy.